restocked the stores of ink, but according to my notes, I am afraid that the structural support for the building must be replaced as well.
Already? How time flies. Since we replaced the posts on the same schedule as the alms pilgrimage, without the fairy's arrival to remind us this year, we must have completely forgotten.
That's how you're propping up this place? Given the state of the architecture in Lagrazzo, I shouldn't be surprised. It's a little crooked.
How quick you are to judge. Every minute detail of these halls has been measured thoroughly for structural integrity. As such, even the slightest bit of negligence in the upkeep will cause the complete collapse of the building.
Then what are you doing? Get a replacement now!
The apprentice scribe was meant to acquire a suitable reinforcement, I believe. You should ask him. More importantly, am I in the presence of this year's convoy of alms?
Yes, indeed. Though they are currently lacking an alm of fire, the rest of them represent the alms of wind, the moon, water, and wood.
Fascinating. An alm of the moon has not been designated for at least 16 years. We've sent several scribes to Aetern in the past to document the changes since its destruction.
I think those two got distracted.
What are we supposed to do about the building?
Honestly, I care more about Aisha's promise to show us to the Tome Spire.
We can't just let the building fall. I'll go ask the apprentice for starters.
We will accompany Aish, so as to attempt to extricate him from that animated exchange as soon as possible.
Hooray! We get to babysit the head curator of the Dark Archives.
Okay, if I were an apprentice scribe, where would I be? In the archives, I guess. Excuse me, I'm supposed to ask you about a structural support for the courtyard? Can you help?
Support? I don't know if we have any replacements stored away.
Hang on, aren't you the one in charge of getting new ones?
I wasn't given any official requisition notice from management. Restocking these things takes time. I keep trying to tell them. Though, it is the scheduled maintenance period for the courtyard. The entire building could fall and crush the documents we have on file. There's a record of just such a tragedy in the past. A large number of tomes and the scholars in charge of them went missing after a freak accident. They were caught up in...
Oh no, I can't waste any more time. Forget about the history lesson. What can I do to help now?
Well, if you can find an object of equivalent length, I'm sure that will work. There has to be something here in the archives. Let's see here. The courtyard structure needs a post exactly 68.1 centimeters long. Thank you for taking the trouble to assist us. We hardly ever see such friendly visitors in Lagrazzo.
Friendly, huh? You don't have a lot of helpful neighbors here?
A hazard of Lagrazzo's locale. This gloomy place doesn't lend itself to cheerful company, I'm afraid. I suppose a soul guard from Tiania such as yourself may be predisposed to helping people. Is it one of the criteria from which they decide who to send with the alms? Or maybe...
Not another long-winded tangent. I don't have time. Hold that thought. Gotta take care of a few things. Right, so if I were a building support, where would I be? Hey, mind if I take a look at your broom?
Oh ho! I see that you too are a connoisseur of sweeping implements. This broom here is over 400 years old, a favorite of one of the more famous alms of darkness.
Wow! How is something so old in such good condition?
Can't you guess? Not a single one of us scholars cares a whit for cleaning. Oh, we have not touched the broom for centuries.
So it's a decoration? Well, I'd love to get some use out of the thing, but it's too long.
A pity. It is a marvelous instrument.
Then maybe you should, Tidy up? What's that thing for?
You mean this wooden scoop? It's for water, of course.
Really? I think the ones in Tiania are different.
Yes, well, you have access to forges in Tiania, do you not? Metalcraft is far easier to come by in a town blessed by the powers of fire.
Oh, that makes sense. Other places don't use as many metal tools, huh?
I believe we have all learned something from this exchange. Speaking of which, have you need of this scoop?
Nah, I'm looking for something to use as a support post, but that's a little too short and flimsy.
How disappointing for you and the scoop.
A new face? Splendid! Me? Why, I'm Bon Voyage, legendary inventor and eccentric genius. And this is my fork of unusual size, a giant's fork.
A what?
A giant! Large, hulking humanoid monsters, you know? You do know, don't you?
From storybooks like the ones that Hina used to read, but not as guests at the dinner table. I didn't think they'd need forks.
This is proof of the existence of giants. Or it might be an oversized tribute to the goddess. Or a fluke manufacturing accident. Whatever it is, it has great historical value.
I didn't realize it was such an important fork. Too bad, since it's the length we're looking for to shore up the building.
Why didn't you say so? It's yours.
But I can't use something of great historical value as a support post.
Never sacrifice the now for the sake of the past. What matters is providing for the future. Wouldn't you agree?
When you put it that way. Okay, I'll try it. All right, now to take this back to Aish. Finally! This should be the perfect size. Now to take it back to Aish. If he's finished with his conversation, that is.
Word, Sproutlings are like nothing I've ever seen before. There is so much we could learn, so much we could study.
You said you're of a very advanced age, correct? The regenerative plant-like properties in your genetic makeup might have something to do with it. Or perhaps...
Oh, you're back! Finally!
Sorry, it took a while to find something usable.
The diminutive nature of Sproutlings might be an evolutionary means to conserve energy within a small frame, according to a treatise I read last year.
Val, you have the replacement, right? Tell me you found something.
It's not exactly what we wanted, but I found a giant's fork that could fit the bill.
Oh, yes, the support. I nearly forgot about it yet again.
Do you mind? We were chronicling our newest discoveries on the growth cycles of Sproutlings.
Keeping your city from crumbling is more important.
I suppose we might as well replace the support post now before we become even more distracted. Let's see. A fine post, I must say. Make a note to replace this again exactly 1,460 days from now.
Val, in acknowledgement of your services to the archives, I would like to present you with the old support.
Thanks, but we don't need your leftover junk.
Goodness! I believe this item would be better identified as the elemental vessel Shade Sight.
How fortunate! It appears that luck is on your side, Val.
They used an elemental vessel to prop up a structure?
We use the tools at our disposal to fix problems as they arise. But I digress. We are finished here, if I am not mistaken. Let us make our way to the Tome Spire, as promised.
I doubt that Aish and I will ever see eye to eye.
How do you manage to keep up with someone like Aish, Palomina?
We have been friends since our youth, and fellowship begets forgiveness. He has not changed.
So, you've known each other for a long time, then.
So, that's one more elemental vessel for us. Let's see what else Aish has to show us. Sounds like we all had a tough time with this little adventure. Better gear up and make sure I'm ready to take on the Passagian Tomespire. Yes! Got some syrup. Grizzly! Taking this. Yes! This is kind of exciting. This might be useful. Grizzly! Yes! This is kind of exciting. This might be useful.
The Tomespire was built by the Grand Archivist Passagian. Stored within its depths is the forbidden book we seek. Passagian is said to have tamed the malevolent monster Zenoa, employing it to protect his collection of knowledge, including that tome. But before I digress further, let us go forth.
Say what now? Together? Didn't you say there were monsters in there?
I am aware of the dangers. Are you the sort that would leave a colleague behind? Or do I not count as a colleague, as I am not one of the alms you are charged with protecting? My safety is irrelevant to your current objective.
He's worried about your safety, and that's why he wants you to stay here. Don't assume Val's indifferent like you.
Aha! I believe I have a solution. From now on, you may consider me a friend. Surely the bonds of friendship are reason enough to bring me with the rest of the group. Now that that is settled, shall we climb the spire?
The nerve of some people. You can't just come and declare yourself someone's friend. It's gotta be a mutual thing.
My companions, calm yourselves. Aish is also an accomplished magic user. He will not slow our stride.
Palamina, I know you like the guy, but
keep in mind that he cannot be dissuaded once he has made a decision.
Wow, I've never seen so many books.
Oh, the Grand Archivist Passagian recorded every single bit of knowledge he possessed. He preserved it all here in the Tomespire, so that his wisdom might endure beyond his lifespan. Oh, a scholar's dream.
Every one of these books is full of stuff this Passagian guy just knew? There are more texts here than someone can read in a lifetime.
I don't know. I bet I could get through these while keeping watch over the burrow.
And how long were you intending to do that, Jule?
Gracious, I was almost entirely swept away. But we have a mission to complete. Avoid what skirmishes you can, and keep an eye out for the Forbidden Tome.
What is up with this place? The bookshelves move on their own?
Passagian's mastery of the magical arts knows no bounds. He devised an entire structure to protect his knowledge, and to this very day, it...
Oh no! Looks like Aish is falling behind!
Yes! something strange about... What is going on? Why does this area look so warped? I can't tell up from down.
Oh, marvelous! I do so enjoy the experience of stasis flux, though I have only been in here once before. There are many theories, but we have no concrete proof of what causes this distortion. Mayhap I will solve the mystery one day. It could be linked to instability in the flow of mana power, or perhaps a byproduct of benevodonal interference, or even a trap laid by Passagian himself.
Great, we got it. Time to move on.
Marley, can I ask, what does digress mean?
Oh, Aish tends to say that when he's going off on a tangent. To digress means to deviate from the original plot. So when Aish is digressing, he's talking about other subjects.
Is that so? Well, in that case, basically everything H says sounds like digress to me.
Grant me power! I'm brimming with power!
This construct becomes curiouser and curiouser the further we progress.
Aish doesn't seem bothered by it, but the whole place is strange.
I must make a point to mention these phenomena to Aish at a later time.
I hope he has answers for you.
Grizzly! Grizzly! Taking this. Woohoo! Taking this. Got some syrup. Take this! This should be the last. Just what I need.
Our forces made this outcome an obvious one. Jule, is it just me, or is Molly being more curt than usual?
It's not just you. Well, I don't think he's realized it himself.
Oh, then I suppose you and I must keep a close eye on any further developments.
It's good to see you and Jule getting along, Karina. Got some syrup. Woohoo! Taking this. Just for you. Yeah! This isn't over. That's the rest. Where are the real monsters at?
Karina, is your companion by any chance one of the legendary sacred beasts?
Is this the first time you noticed Ramco was here?
Apologies for the late introduction. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Ramco.
Yes! Incoming! Got some syrup. Woohoo! Incoming! Incoming! Grizzly! Woohoo! Power of men! I'm brimming with power! Woohoo! Got some syrup! Let me see. A rare item! Woohoo! Let me see. Nice. Elemental candle freeze. Okay.
Let us take a moment to pause.
Incoming! Grizzly! Incoming! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Too much time.
Elemental candle! Commanding! Okay. You're mine!
Barry?
We should be prepared for subsequent strikes.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Incoming! Incoming! Incoming!
Kinda exciting. Buckle up.
Here I go! I think we can use the vessel. Take this! Commanding! Commanding! You're mine! Gotcha!
Submit! Let us pick one
Taking this. Woohoo! Incoming! Incoming! Incoming!
We have arrived. The book we need should be in here. The disaster prophesized for this region may have something to do with the presence of monsters in the Tome Spire. But how inspired is it for Passagian to have utilized such misfortune for his own purposes? Zenoa is a sight to behold.
Now is not the time for observation. It's time for action.
Purposefully putting monsters in his place is a bit extreme.
I don't think this monster will go easy on us.
A shame that we must dispense with such an intriguing subject.
I can still fight. No holding back!
Does anybody have water?
It's hot! Got it! Salamando! Okay. Feeling good. Spirit circle! Ready whenever! Not so tough now, are you?
Don't stop attacking them. Predict.
Not so tough now, are you? getting weaker?
Master Aish, we have finished with this monster.
Yes, I have recorded all the relevant data. A few freedom.
Does it mean it is You folded my...
Just what I need.
My thanks.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yes. After extracting the requisite essence from the components, the saturation level should be... Yes, I had not even begun to think of that technique. Passagian was truly a genius.
Once the substance is soluble, we will have the compound, correct?
Indubitably. Then finally the crystallization. It's all right here. The key to our success. The methodology is flawless, but the information is outdated. I believe with some adjustments to the necessary ingredients...
I see. It should be possible to procure these provisions.
Should we be having this conversation in a monster nest?
Careful, Morley. One might say you sound jealous if they didn't know better.
I'm not jealous. Let them talk about weird science experiments all day for all I care.
Fine, fine. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
Eureka! I believe I have struck upon a method to weaken Deilephos. But first I must consult with Von Voyage. While I discuss the finer details with him, you must gather the ingredients necessary for the elixir.
Ingredients? What ingredients?
I must be off. Palomina, explain it to them.
And there he goes.
Do not worry. I know what elements are essential to the execution of this endeavor. Shall we? There are 3 ingredients that Aish would like us to acquire. First, the croak of a frog. Next, a striped egg, only laid once every 1,000 years. Finally, the fur of a chatty cat.
That's a tall order. Where do we find all that?
Didn't Aish and that other guy talk about all this junk earlier? You know, when Val was looking for the support ghost.
Right. I did hear some mention of stuff like that. And I wasn't tuning out the conversation, at least.
I think we'll be able to find all of it right here in Lagrazzo.
Aish ordered us around, then hightailed it out of here. Though I guess we are the ones asking for the favor in the first place.
Palomina, I had a question for you. How would you describe your relationship with Aish?
Do forgive me for forcing you all to toil at the behest of my associate, and with hardly a hello from Aish himself. I suppose that I consider him my trusted tutor. I quite admire his capacity for learning and his passion for attaining knowledge. At times, Aish comports himself like a mature intellectual, and at others, I confess, I consider him like a brother brimming with curiosity. But perhaps what I most appreciate is that even after my ascension to the throne, Aish treated me the same as always. Yes, he is a close companion of mine.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
Morley, you should have asked to talk to her in private or something. Give yourself some alone time, you know?
Your plight has stirred the muse within me. I think I'll write a song about you. Don't worry, I'll perform it for you first.
What are you two going on about?
Please accept my apologies for any affront that Aish may have afforded. I should have warned everyone about his abrasive nature.
There you go again, acting like the big sister. Come on, everyone, let's hop to it. If we split up, I bet we can find all these ingredients in no time. That's 3 ingredients we need for the elixir. We should be able to find them in the area. Better start looking. Hey, don't give me any trouble!
Huh? Oh, no! Get it off me!
Don't move.
Uh-huh.
You don't see an egg like this every day, that's for sure. Better not drop it. Oh no, it's getting away! Palomina, Morley, the frog's croak is coming right at you! Heads up!
Pardon me. I am sorry for that incidental imposition.
Oh, no. I should apologize.
Morley and Palomina's faces were bright red. I hope they didn't catch anything.
It's fine, Francine. I'm sure you were mistaken. No, I'm not. I'm sure I saw a ghost. You just weren't paying enough attention. I was so. I think what you saw was probably just a scholar from the archives hidden by the fog. Quit being such a scaredy cat, Francine.
It's the Merchant Sisters again. They show up in the weirdest places.
They have to go where the customers are, don't they? Though it doesn't look like they're selling anything at the moment. Let's see how chatty we can entice these kitties to get. How can you be worrying about ghosts when there's a whole new market to explore? Remember, Father would be disappointed if we gave up because of silly ghoulies. Easy for Mewtwo to say. Scaredy, scaredy kitty cat. Did somebody order some chatty cat's fur?
Thanks, Julie. Okay, the fur of a chatty cat, the croak of a frog, and a striped egg. That's everything. Good work, everybody.
All that remains is to return the required items to Von Voyage.
So where is this Von Boy Who's-Its?
Oh, I remember. Von Voyage is the person who gave me the giant's fork. Let's go talk to him. Time to pay Von Voyage a visit and drop off these ingredients. Here's hoping this does the trick and helps us weaken Daylight. Sorry to intrude, Von Voyage. We've, got a request to ask of you, I guess?
Took your time, didn't you? Ace already told me all about what you fellas are up to. I have finished the necessary preparation, so leave it to me. I know the fastest, neatest, and bestest method. Remember, use my inventions at your own risk. What good is genius without a bit of danger? Come, pass the components for the Corpedo to me. Oh, that's what I named it. Clever, don't you think? I see you have all three. Now it's my turn. This little beauty will solve all your problems. And if it doesn't, no returns or refunds. There! That's one completed Corpedo for you.
I can finally get Hina's core stone back.
You know, inventing is full of trial and error, but that doesn't mean making mistakes is a waste of your time. A mountain of past failures is a testament to your conviction. You learn from it and move forward. It's easy to abandon your efforts and stop trying. What's hard is continuing to do what's necessary for you and yours. So don't give up.
That Corpedo looks dangerous. Hopefully it's enough. I better get it to Aish soon.
Congratulations on your success. You took your time completing the experiment, but better late than never, I suppose.
Well, sorry.
Please give me the Corpedo. Yes, quite intricate. A prime example of Von Voyage's handiwork.
So, what do we do with it?
Delafos's power is sealed away together with a Benevodon at the top tier of the Tome Spire. That is where he will appear, so that is where we must head him off. With Corpedo in hand, we will lie in wait until Delafos arrives. We then use our secret weapon before he has a chance to revive the Benevodon. Having reviewed your fighting capabilities thus far, I believe you will have no issue ensuring that the man comes into contact with the Corpedo.
What's supposed to happen when Delafos touches it?
Upon contact, the device will disperse a toxic deluge. Though it will not kill him, the pain should be at an untenable level, slowing his advance.
Golly, that does sound dangerous enough to qualify as banned knowledge.
Indeed. Why, that ancient text described the original Corpedo as capable of destroying an entire battalion in minutes.
Whoa! Be careful with that thing!
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you, on behalf of the Alms, for all your assistance, Master Aish. We are in your debt.
Wait until after the mission is deemed a success before you thank me. The Corpedo may not even work. However, time is of the essence. Let us make haste to the top of the Tome Spire before Delafos beats us to it.
What? Already?
Would you rather wait? Every moment we waste is an opportunity for Delafos to regain his power. Now is the time to strike. No, it can't be. Delafos? Here? You were supposed to go for the Benevodon.
More bumbling attempts to interfere, I see.
I had not calculated for this. Stay back!
You would dare. Cerulia. My heart. My Cerulia. I will never surrender. Cursed goddess. How long must you make me suffer?
Delafos. You were once lauded as a hero among men. You received the favor of the goddess of mana, wielded her weapon against the monster menaces, and saved the world. Why oppose her now? Please tell us, What is it that you wish to gain? What could the annihilation of the goddess of mana possibly accomplish?
I do not answer to pests like you!
He got away. Hina, I'm sorry.
Telephos was meant to head for the Tome Spire. I had it all planned out to the minutest of details, and yet...
Don't look now, but Telephos already woke up the Benevodon of Darkness!
I know this wasn't the plan, but we gotta go to the Passagian Tome Spire now.
Please! Wait. Take me with you. Please.
What? Did you think we'd leave you behind?
No, but if you refused, I would stay.
So now you're willing to listen to reason. Did that fight knock some sense into you?
I don't know. Apparently, I know nothing. I have accumulated knowledge from all corners of the world, yet I do not understand this feeling. But I think you are the key.
Thoughts?
It's okay. You can come with us, Aish. You're our friend, right?
Yes. Friend. Thank you.
There you have it, Master Aish.
In the past, when I first attempted to enter the Passagian Tome Spire, I found myself overwhelmed by the monsters within. After you arrived, I assumed this was the perfect chance to try again. With the Soul Guard and Alms protecting me, I would be free to search the Spire to my heart's content. I called you friends, not out of feeling, but to gain unfettered access to the knowledge within these walls. I used your kindness. But now that I stand here, on the eve of battle with a Benevodon, I find that I want to prove myself useful. I am not here for books. I am here to help my colleagues. It took me this long to realize it.
Hard to believe that arrogant scholar from before has made such progress.
Arrogant? Come now. I would say discourteous at worst.
I am so glad to see you both getting along. Friends must fight a common foe, not their fellows.
Yep, we're all one big happy family now. Come on, Val, Joulay, let's leave him to it.
Yes, sirree. That is the aura of a Benevodon if I ever felt one.
Does the Benevodon of Darkness actually make things darker? I can't see a thing.
You don't know where it might be hiding. Be on your guards.
You have some pep in your step, Paladina. Is it about Morley and Aish?
Precisely. I am relieved to see their association take a more amiable turn.
That's amiable? I guess anything is better than where they were at before.
Pump your defenses until the very end.
Got it! They weren't so tough.
Allow to congratulate you on that stirring display of martial aptitude.
You mean against Lilithos? I barely made a scratch. You were a big help, Ish.
I am humbled to have made a difference at all. But
Okay. This is how it's done. Come at me! Where are the real monsters at? Woohoo! Incoming!
The Corpita wasn't enough to take down Delaphos.
As expected, a hero of legend can withstand more than most.
He uses his hatred of the goddess to fuel his power. A sad source of motivation.
Incoming! There's something strange about this butterfly. I'll take you all on! Elemental candle!
Useless
Fireball!
That's the last.
Got it!
Useless Turok. That was hardly worth the energy.
You seem to enjoy taking jabs at others, Ace. Like to see people squirm. Is that it?
squirm? Hardly. I have no firm opinion about purposefully annoying people for the sake of it, though I do find conversations with Marley particularly entertaining.
Aha! So you are trying to stir up trouble. Shouldn't do that.
Incoming! Incoming! Would Delaphos be close to where the Benevodon was sealed?
Hard to say. He might not even be in the archives anymore.
But then, what am I gonna do about my promise to Hina? Gotta keep moving forward either way. Now's not the time to give up. Your opponent, take this! I can still fight. I need you. I go!
I feel stronger than ever before.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Incoming! Woohoo! Incoming! Incoming! Woohoo! Incoming! Incoming! Woohoo! This is kind of exciting. Is this? Incoming!
We have arrived at the top tier of the spire.
Okay, so where's the Benevodon? All I see is a lot of nothing.
Strange. This area looks different from the archival descriptions I've read. See that large stone tablet over there? If I remember correctly, and I do, there was no mention of this being broken.
Maybe the Benevodon broke it after it was set free?
The rooms on the left and right seem to have something to do with this.
As with the entirety of the archives, this tome spire is governed by the powers of the Elemental of Darkness. Perhaps the vessel may be of some use to us?
Might as well find out. Not like we can fight a Benevodon that isn't here. Which way should we go? Left or right?
They all look the same to me. You decide now.
Incoming!
You came here on your own, Aish?
Oh no, I've never made it this far into the Tome Spire. I shudder to think of what might have happened to me.
Don't do anything reckless. None of us want to be.
Behold my power! Unleashing my full power!
It's useless.
I think we can use the vessel.
That's the last.
Take this!
The taste of triumph is not an unwelcome one.
Help us out! Thanks for the pick-me-up. Let me see. Is this?
Look at that stone thingy go!
Now we just gotta do the same to the other one. Let's give it a try. Woohoo! Woohoo! Taking this?
Look what the cat's
I can still fight.
That's the last.
Our forces made this outcome an obvious one.
Grant me power! I'm brimming with power! Incoming! Woohoo!
For one to gain knowledge, another must forfeit it. Loss for one. Achievement for another.
Benevodon of Darkness. Zabel Far, I presume.
Seekers of wisdom, darkness will return you to the void.
Quite a sinister silhouette. So this is Zabel Far.
We like to make an entrance.
The Benevodon is sure to be no match for this convoy.
We need footholds.
The Vessel of Darkness may provide some insight to use it on the walls and floor.
Spirits, come forth! You're mine! How are you? Take this! Seems quite angry. Just what I need. What's up now? Watch out! Unleashing my full power!
I'll cover you.
You're mine!
Decent out. Very.
Enjoy.
Fireball! You're mine! Just what I need.
Drop your defenses until the very end.
Not another one!
Buckle up.
The dark abyss goes
Nicely done!
The dark abyss grows
Take this! Take this! Don't hold back, everyone! You're mine! I can still fight. You're mine! Bullseye! It's immobilized! Nicely done! Take this! You're mine!
The dark abyss grows
You're mine! Take this! Take this! Save this one just for you! This isn't over!
Now's timing.
Use any magic?
The dark abyss grows
Take this!
The elemental vessel is ready.
Gotcha! You're mine! Harry, that's it! Don't stop attacking!
We may survive this.
All three look injured. We can do this.
Don't waste time. Press your advantage now.
I can still fight!
Buckle up.
Not so tough now, are you?
Surround and strike.
Bullseye! Just what I needed!
The dark abyss grows
You're mine! Take this!
cannot believe it. We defeated the Benevodon of Darkness!
More like the Benevodon of dumbness.
Insightful curator of Lagrazzo, Aish, by the grace of the goddess of mana, I name you the Olm of Darkness.
I did not foresee this result. You must be mistaken, Fairy, for the Olm of Darkness has always been a scholar of such profound intelligence that none could compare.
Allow me to enlighten you.
How's it going, Shade? You're looking dusky as ever.
Julay, let us leave the pleasantries for a later time. Aish of the Lograzzo Dark Archives. You have been hampered by your search for knowledge without intent. However, through these recent experiences, you have known ignorance, camaraderie, and a thirst for understanding. Such traits are befitting of an Olm.
I am sorry it took so long to appoint you. Shade just couldn't make up his mind until the very end.
These decisions are made with much deliberation, discovering truth within the darkness of doubt. I am not immune to indecisiveness, elemental though I may be. Aish, see that you fulfill your duty as my Olm.
I thank you for the honor, but I find that I am perhaps not as moved by this cause as some of the other alms on this pilgrimage.
You are not alone. The citizens of Lagrazzo care not for the prestige of the title.
That being said, I am proud to hear that my endeavors have garnered your praise. If you will have me, I would see the alms duty through to the end.